Now? Oh, my mic is working now. Can I hear videos? No, I cannot. Of course not. Why would I be able to? Oh, playback device. Okay, now? So mono input. Oh, my mic is working now. Can I hear videos? No, I cannot. Of course not. Why would I be able to? Oh, playback device. Okay, now? So mono input. Oh, my mic is working now. Can I hear videos? No, I cannot. Of course not. Why would I be able to? Oh, playback device. Okay, now? So mono input. Oh, my mic is working now. Can I hear videos? No, I cannot. Of course not. Why would I be able to? Oh, playback device. Okay, now? So mono input. Oh, my mic is working now. Can I hear videos? Of course not. Why would I be able to? Videos. Working now. Can I hear videos? Of course not. Why would I be able to? Videos. Working now. Hello. Oh. Okay, testing. Okay, it's all working now. Everything is working now. Okay. So, oh my gosh, Nick Shirley Minnesota. Okay, no, I don't want a reaction. I do want to have that pulled up. Okay, so the video that started off this whole invasion of Minnesota, which has resulted in the on-camera murder of 2 citizens. The video that kicked all this off was Nick Shirley's investigation, which is 43 minutes long. So I'm going to be putting this on like multiple times speed because it's hard to watch. But it's a really poorly made video. Oh, he made a sequel with the same name and thumbnail style. Okay, maybe I'll check this out later. But man, oh man, this is not a well-made video.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question, are there children? There's no children inside this building.
Yeah, so what Nick Shirley is doing is he and his camera crew of 4 men, or I think it's 4, his camera crew of several men who look like ICE agents, is going into daycares with cameras out and his creepy-ass meta glasses on his head. He's going into daycares and asking to see the children, and then calling it fraud when they don't show him their kids in front of all the cameras. And a guy named David, who we don't get to hear the last name of.
Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota, as literally billions of dollars have been funneled through Somali-ran fraudulent businesses. So much fraud, it could actually almost replace the entire GDP of Somalia. These fraudsters have worked hand in hand with the Minnesota government as they enabled billions of dollars to be given to fraudulent businesses underneath welfare purposes. Some of this money eventually landed in the hands of terrorist groups in Somalia.
Okay, so he's bringing up like really old stuff that has been talked about to death.
Like the Al-Shabaab and other.
All of these, like, it ended up with terrorists are completely alleged. I don't remember exactly, like, how it works, but basically, people were trying to send money back to their families who still lived in Somalia. And, like, the only way to do this was basically through, like, a mule, like someone who would take the money for them. Which it used to be done via banks, but eventually banks stopped working with Somalia. So they had to do it via illegal methods, and then because this money was going to Somalia, it was just assumed that some of it is probably going to terrorism. So that claim should already be a red flag for you if you know anything about the history of this situation, which I probably have the story a little bit off there. I'm not holding myself to a super high standard of integrity, but I'm holding myself to a higher standard than they are in this instance because, you know, this isn't researched. This is a stream that will be made into a VOD, and maybe I'll fact check this and put the proper information on screen. But this is a red flag if you know about the history of the situation.
Others enrich themselves all at the U.S. taxpayers' expense. And in this video, we will break down all of the fraud from start to finish, from going to the fraudulent businesses.
No, he will not.
And confronting the people who are making millions of dollars from the government. And we will also be confronting the incompetent government leaders who let this fraud happen. And to make this happen, I met up with a man who's been doing his own investigation for years now, as he has seen the fraud firsthand. His name is David. Let's get into this.
His name is David. He talks to an old white man named David. We don't get his last name. Who is David? Nick Shirley video. Who is David? David Hotch. Okay, so... God damn it, I fucking hate the Minnesota Star Tribune. Ah, man, I don't remember the command to get rid of this either. Nope, that's private. There we go. Are you fucking serious, man? Does that not... Okay, good. Okay. David Hotch has a long history of failed political ambitions. Okay, I misread political as police because I'm fucking illiterate, apparently. Then he paired with a 23-year-old YouTuber to knock on doors in Minneapolis child care centers. So this is a 7-page article that would probably be a pretty decent read. I don't think I'm going to read it right now. Identified only as David. Yeah, throughout the entire video, they do not tell us his name is David Hotch, which makes me incredibly, or Hosh. I don't know how to pronounce that. But that makes me incredibly suspicious of David. Did they just not want us to know about his failed political ambitions? Criminal record. I'm sure if you had a criminal record, we'd know about it. Yeah, nothing's coming up. Anyway.
And be prepared to be shocked. How deep is this fraud here inside of Minnesota?
It is far worse than anybody can imagine. You heard it's 7 to 10 billion and maybe more, and now the numbers have been revised and put out there publicly that they think it's more like 8 billion. How I got involved is that where my office is here in Minneapolis, I'm sort of in the heart of all of this fraud, and I would see these childcare centers. I said, well, there aren't any kids there. It's the middle of the day, and all I see are a couple of guys standing out front smoking, and then I'd go by another daycare and I'd see the same thing. I said, well...
Okay, so in Minnesota, the winters get to negative 40 degrees. Like, it was negative 40 degrees here a few days ago. And downtown Minneapolis isn't really a pleasant place to be outside, cold weather or not. It's downtown Minneapolis. It's like New York. It's not as bad as like New York, like smell and atmosphere wise, but you know, it's a big city. And it's not a particularly nice one. Like air quality, street quality wise. So you're not necessarily wanting to send your kid outside as a daycare in downtown, especially in the middle of winter when this video is being recorded. And this creepy motherfucker just has a bunch of pictures of people's houses on the wall. What is this supposed to look like? A police investigation? Like you forgot the red string, buddy. You just have a bunch of pictures of people's houses. You creepy old white guy.
Where do these kids play? And so I started to go online and look, and I said, this place is licensed for 80 children. They had 0 children. Every time I went by there, they never had a single child there. And then I started to see all these
Yeah, because they don't let creepy old guys look at the kids. You cannot be this fucking stupid. You really can't. And the right is eating this shit up. This is what was used as a justification to invade and occupy Minnesota.
Transportation companies going around, and it was always a Somali driver. And I said, well, that's great. They're out there transportation, contributing, but they never had a passenger, never, ever once. And I said, well, what is all this transportation? What are they doing? So then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy, whatever it might be. And I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them and more.
The research came back. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The research came back from who? You're acting like Batman, like talking with like Alfred the butler, like, Alfred, why are there so many taxi drivers without passengers? Like, what are you talking about? The research came back.
More than 800 of them are Somali owned. Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever cross-checks to see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
Okay, so these people complain about government efficiency all day. And then they're expecting to look into each individual taxi driver and see how many people they're driving each day. And 800 out of, what, 1,500 something are Somali owned? And Somali owned doesn't necessarily mean Somali operated. So, like, what does this have to do with anything? This is so fucking nothing.
So right here we have all this paperwork. And how are you getting all this information about the fraud?
A lot of it is through my own research, and then I have some contacts at the Capitol going back many, many years, and so the data that I'm getting is 100% accurate, coming directly from research done by people at the state Capitol.
All this paperwork right here, what are we looking at?
The areas of fraud that I have numbers for are more...
Nick Shirley is a state agent, by the way. He's been to the White House to talk about how bad Antifa is. he's been to Israel to run these like pro-genocide, like genocide denial campaigns. Nick Shirley is not a citizen journalist. He is corporate to the core. Yeah, Nick Shirley sucks.
Mostly related to childcare. This is massive fraud that is beyond anyone's imagination, the scope.
Massive, you say?
And so, for example, there's a childcare not far from here in Minneapolis that has two childcares listed at the same address, and together they're licensed supposedly for a
Okay, let's look at
Minneapolis that has two
Mako Childcare and Mini Childcare Center. Okay, no owner listed. Okay, they're just fully doxing these places, by the way. This is libs of TikTok shit. Okay. Mini Childcare Center, Minneapolis. Mini Childcare Center. 4 out of 5 stars. That's not bad. That is not bad. Do they have a website? No, they don't. Okay, great. Wait, I'm not necessarily looking for DHS lookup. Yeah, no, I don't really care about violate. Although, it would be interesting to know. Children's files didn't commit. Okay, so their violations don't seem like. All of their violations have been corrected. Equipment and furniture were not in good repair. Corrected. Areas children used. Program spaces were not clean. Okay, corrected. Okay, so all the stuff that they're complaining about, which I'm sure they're going to complain about, were corrected. Okay. Okay, it's just a fucking childcare place. Whoa, there can be 2 childcare places in the same neighborhood. And you know what? I'll bet that, I'm not gonna, I don't feel like looking it up, but I'll bet that, childcare places have, an age limit. So these might literally be, part of the same thing, just separated because there's an age limit. Like, mini childcare center. Childcare. Yeah, these are probably literally, the same business, but separated because of, age restrictions.
2 childcares listed at the same address, and together they're licensed.
There can be 2 businesses at the same address. Okay, I hate being complicit in the doxing of these childcare centers, because I am spreading this to my currently 0 viewers, but I'm gonna upload the VOD on YouTube, and that'll get probably a few hundred views at least. But this video has 3.9 million views. Okay, so Google Street View. Let's go 2328 25th Avenue, South Minneapolis. Okay, cool. So then this is the house. Okay, it's a person's house. They probably just run 2 daycares, dude. You're doxing this random person's house because they run 2 daycares for different age groups. You absolute moron.
Supposedly for 120 children. I have never seen a single child there ever, and I've been by that place at least 100 times.
You're going by this random lady's house 100 times looking for kids? You're a psychopath, dude. You're a pedophile. This guy's in the Epstein list.
Molly, these groups are setting up these daycares, these childcare centers, getting money from the government, but there's no kids.
No kids. Never had any of them. They're all fraught with violations, and even though they have these violations, they're still in operation and they're still getting money. And it's
Okay. Let's check on YMCA child care. Duluth, MN, DHS. Let's see how many violations the place that I went to preschool. Oh wait, this is the wrong one. Okay, so they have 2 violations at least. All staff were not informed of child's allergy. Allergy information was not available at all times. Okay, so they're both, and then whatever these 2 is, in compliance. Okay, so the place I went to has violations. They were a great place. Document expired. You're expired, bitch. DHS Duluth. I did also go here for a time. They have a lot of stuff. Yeah, okay, they have all the same stuff. This place was great. So these violations don't really mean anything. They can be minor. And he's trying to use the fact that he can't see the kids to discredit these daycares. It's gross. And he's targeting Somali-owned daycares for a reason.
dollars for every one of them every year.
And who's getting the money? And where are they getting the money from?
So we have a thing called CCAP. It's a blend of federal and state money. The bottom line is it's taxpayer money, so it's state money and it's federal money. And the problem is the people at the state of Minnesota are the ones writing the checks. This is kind of the maddening thing is you have daycare, so you have adult daycare, and then you have child care, and then you have health care. And a lot of these same names keep coming up on all of these different types of businesses. And then, of course, we have the transportation. A lot of those same names appear, a lot of the same addresses. There's one building that has 14 Somali healthcare companies at the same address. There's another building in St. Paul that has 22 Somali healthcare businesses at the same address.
And the government knows about this.
The government knows they're writing the checks. Yeah, the Democrats over there just writing the checks. What has happened is that the Somali community is a very closed community. They will not speak to anyone outside the community.
Yeah, okay. So just saying it's still the quiet part. He's not saying the quiet part out loud quite yet. But he's trying to say that the Somali community is like full of fraud. Every single one of them. It's closed and they all know about it.
Community and talk about what's going on within the community. They vote as a block. And so when you're a politician, you're saying, look, I've got 100,000 people in Minnesota that if I do something for the community, they're going to vote for me. And that's what it's all about is getting the votes. And then the people here in Minnesota, you hear this term, Minnesota nice. I'm so sick of that term. The people here are so afraid of being called a racist or an Islamophobe. And they're afraid of their own shadow. And I don't understand. This is our future generations are going to have to pay for all this fraud. And they just want to bury their...
What do you mean? You're claiming that we are currently paying for all this fraud because it's our current taxpayer money. So how are future generations going to have to pay for it when we're paying for it right now? What does he even mean by that? Does he mean that Minnesota will be like so? I don't know. I genuinely can't understand what he means by that. Maybe I'm just being stupid.
Their heads in the sand and go on and just not worry about it. Tim Walz saying there's organized crime in Minnesota. What did he do about it? Nothing. You got organized crime? What are you doing? This is...
The Minneapolis Police Department is the biggest organized crime organization in the entire city. And this is a bit of a tangent. Minneapolis PD report. Read this. If you want to literally lose all faith, and especially the Minneapolis policing, I promise you that this stuff like this is not exclusive to Minneapolis. Because I've known about stuff like this going on ever since I was a kid visiting Minneapolis. Minneapolis is particularly bad, but this is only all available because George Floyd died. This happens in every major city, stuff like this. So read this document. It's like 96 pages, 89 pages actually. Or YouTube.com, Big Joel has a really good video on it. Big Joel MPD. Yeah, this video. Really well made, really good video.
Is the Minnesota law which mandates that anyone who knows of fraud and is a state employee must report that fraud. It's Minnesota Statute 3.971, Subdivision 9. Not only that, but Walz is also guilty of misconduct of a public employee. When I look at the world...
What is misconduct of a public employee in what
1,
the hell
Subdivision
is
9.
this piece
Not only
of
that,
paper?
but Walz is also guilty of misconduct.
Is this available in higher resolution? God fucking damn it. God damn, I hate my browser. No, I love you, Firefox, I'm sorry. What is misconduct of a public employee? Of a public employee. Misconduct of a instead of one's lawful authority. Okay, a public officer or employee who does not do any of the following, or which no other sentence is specifically provided by law, may intentionally fails to. It's a $3,000 fine. He's guilty of something that's a $3,000 fine. Piracy is probably a $3,000 fine. Are you gonna go insane because Tim Walz pirated a book in 2009? Like, what are you even... And then you hold up this piece of paper like it's some big information. Put this on screen. This piece of paper is literally this. I guarantee you it's the same thing. I can't see it, but I am sure it's the same thing. Because, like, from what I can see, yeah, it's this. It's not quite the same thing, but it's basically the same thing. History down here. Yeah, okay, it is the same thing. Just put a picture of this on screen so that we can read it.
Of a public employee. When I look at the world as a whole and I look at fraud, the Twin Cities is ground zero. The fraud is worse here than anywhere else ever in history. Anywhere.
We're going to go confront these people. We're going to go to these daycare centers. We're going to see what's actually happening.
Okay, so we have to be careful because these people are very violent. They're exceptionally violent.
Now, with all of David's evidence, we headed out to the streets of Minneapolis to see how much fraud we could uncover in one afternoon.
Where are we going now?
We're going to a place called Mako Child Care, which actually has another child care registered at the same address called Mini Child Care Center.
So we should see lots of children if there's this child care center, especially if there's two.
The two of them combined are licensed for 120.
And how much money have these?
Okay, just because they're licensed for 120 kids doesn't mean there's going to be 120 kids in attendance any day, or most days, or ever, really. There could be 90 kids. And the two of them together, I'm assuming that these two businesses have two different hours of operation. In which case, there would never be 120 kids there at the same time. This guy is stupid.
Child care centers received.
None of those vans have moved in 6 months. None of them. In 2020, one of them received $1.3 million. In 2021, they got $987,000. In 2022, they got $714,000. That's the last I have for that one. And then the other one, $1.604 million in fiscal year 2025. Fiscal year 2024, they got about $800,000. And in fiscal year 2023, they got $904,059. This place right here. Yes.
We're outside of it.
Well, this is actually two daycares are registered here. One of them is Mako, which you see on the sign. The other one is Mini Child Care Center. And between the two of these...
Okay, so apparently the address that I got there was wrong. And this building is definitely big enough to have two daycare centers in it. And what I said before still could be true. And there's cars all over here. I'm sure there's kids inside this building. They're just not letting this motherfucker browse the kids.
Care centers, they're pulling in about $3 million a year. And there are no children. Every facility you go to, the windows will be blacked out so you can't see in.
Yeah, of course you can't. They're kids. It would be more suspicious if you could see in.
There's nobody here. You won't see a single child at any of these facilities.
There are indeed no windows. All the windows are blacked out right here. All right, let's go in.
No.
And the child care center is locked. Should we ring the doorbell? Try to get in, ring the doorbell. Nobody showed up. They're open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. It says here on their sign. Yet there's absolutely nobody here. And this building here, right here.
It's not that there's absolutely nobody there. It's that nobody's answering the door for a guy with a camera crew, an old white guy, and no kids.
Here has generated millions of dollars, and it seems like
They've not generated millions of dollars. They have received millions of dollars in funding because they are a small, locally owned business and operating costs are likely high. That doesn't say anything about their net profit. This guy is fucking stupid. Look at this face. Does that look like the man who should be leading the charge in investigating fraud in Minnesota? With his clip-on mic touching his chin and his Meta Ray-Ban glasses?
business isn't even open right now, and it's a weekday. And if this was a daycare center, it wouldn't just be in some industrialized building. There would be maybe like a playground or something outside. Or
There's no play area for the kids. So where are the kids? Where's anybody? How can there be nobody here? And it's like this every single day. I've never seen a single child here. In 9 years, I've never seen a single child at this building. Right there.
Oh, then now it looks like we already got the Somalis coming
Yeah,
through.
they're coming. The word's out.
Hello, is this your daycare?
No, can you tell us why there are no children? Have you ever seen children at this child care center?
Doesn't know if she's ever seen a child here. All right, let's go to the next location.
It's not that she doesn't know if she's ever seen a child there. She said that because she didn't want to talk to you and your ICE agent looking camera crew.
The fraud only gets more from here. Make sure you stay till the very end of this video to see exactly how much fraud we find by the time we are done. And before we go to the next location, I want to show you something super interesting about the flags of Minnesota.
And here in Minnesota, if you take a look at the Minnesota state flag, they recently changed it, and it very much so resembles the flag of Somalia. And
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
here in Minnesota, if you take a look at the Minnesota state flag, they recently changed it, and it very much so resembles the flag of Somalia. And really,
Okay. This is the most replayed part of the video. We are so cooked. We are so cooked if this is what people are replaying. Oh my god. Okay, so first, let's count the stars, or the points of the star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 2 completely different stars. 2 completely different shades of blue. And this flag was voted on by the people of Minnesota. It wasn't chosen for its resemblance to the Somali flag. It was chosen for the symbolism of the North Star, the state's color of blue. Also, I like how it looks like the shape of the state. And then originally there were like 3 bands of color here, including this color, but 2 of them got removed after we voted on it, which I was a little bit upset about. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not, like, a huge fan of our new state flag design. Out of the finalists, it's not the one that I would have picked. There were several better ones, including one designed by one of my friends. But, you know, this is a good flag, and it doesn't resemble the Somali flag. It has a star, and it has blue. You know what else has stars and blue? The American flag. Wow. So similar. The American flag is the Somali flag, guys.
Somalia. And really quick, I want to tell you guys about the sponsor of this video, Opus Clip. What used to just be an AI clipper has
Yeah, he's sponsored by an AI company, by the way.
back into the video. Now we're going to the next daycare center. How much money has this one generated?
This one, in fiscal year 2025,
Money stolen from Minnesota. So she tries to make this look like an official document, which is really sketchy. This is something that he wrote himself. Number of children at this facility, 0. That's number of children that he saw at this facility walking by like a creep. Yeah, good. They shouldn't let him see any children. Licensed for 40 children. That doesn't mean there has to be 40 children in attendance. Wow. Doxing the avenue. Or doxing the location. Just fucking great, man. Money stolen from Minnesota. So $1 million a year of money given to them by the state. That's nothing compared to the state's budget.
$1,042,059. In fiscal year 2024, $1,059,078. And in fiscal year 2023,
He's wasting our time by reading the exact number for the past 3 years. Jesus fucking Christ, this is such a poorly made video.
$727,336.
This next one is literally one block away, and this one's also generated nearly $3 million in the past 3 years. See if there's any children. See if
Fraud gunner. Oh my fucking god. You don't know what fraud means.
the buildings are open. Here we go. All right, we've arrived to ABC Learning Center. All the windows are blacked out. Let's see if anybody is here.
He doesn't have
This
his
door is
security
locked.
crew.
This facility is licensed for 40 children. 0 children. I've come by this place 100 times. I've never seen a child here, ever.
But we do see his security crew like soon. And again, I feel the need to keep calling this out. Why would he see children here? You're not supposed to be able to just see children when you walk by a daycare. Unless it's like at recess or whatever. And if you're trying to plan your walks by a daycare center for recess time, you belong on a list. I'm sorry, but you do.
The only thing I've ever seen is someone standing outside smoking.
What's crazy about this is that last daycare center is that green building.
Holy shit, people take smoke breaks? Guys, I drove by Domino's the other day. You know, the Domino's that I work at. I didn't see a single pizza outside. The only thing I saw was someone taking a smoke break in the back. This is fraud.
Right there. And the other daycare center right now is right here. These buildings should be operating as they're receiving literally millions of dollars.
I knocked on the door, and to my surprise, somebody actually answered the door.
Hello? Can we speak? I would like to check a...
Yeah, he's like secretly recording with his meta glasses, which is why this video is cropped so weird. Because he doesn't want these people to know he's recording. Obviously, there's like the microphone here, but they don't know they're being visually recorded unless they know what meta glasses look like.
child in the daycare. Can I speak to a manager? Where can I get paperwork to file for my son? I want to put my son Joey in daycare.
And after a few questions,
Yeah, you just go up to a daycare without your kid and make up like the most generic ass fucking name. You want to check your kid Joey into daycare. Don't like call ahead or like look on the website or anything. Just like knock on the door and be like, I want to check in my son Joey. Yeah, that's normal behavior.
the lady went silent.
Looks like little Joey Shirley ain't going to daycare here. And now where are we going?
Now we're going to Sweet Angel Childcare.
We're in the middle of a strip mall here inside of this neighborhood.
In fiscal year 2025, this facility, which has its license for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million in tax money. And there are no kids. And all the facilities are the same way. All of them.
Let's see if anyone opens.
Yeah, let's see.
Once again, I tried to find a spot for my son Joey, and they would not open
Yeah, he's just trying the doors of daycare facilities. That's so weird.
the door.
I want to put my son Joey in daycare.
Oh, okay. So yeah, see, they do have someone filming, a third person filming. So in this particular instance, so three people, three men with no kids, start knocking on your door, recording at your daycare. That's weird as hell.
Cuz I need a spot to put my son Joey. Is this your daycare center? No. I just want to put a child in daycare, but all the daycare centers seem to be closed. No one's opening the doors.
You work here?
I was, yeah. What's up?
Where are the kids? It says it's licensed for 74 children. Right here, state of Minnesota. Where are the kids? They got paid $1.26 million in fiscal year 2025. It says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When?
Where are the kids? Right here. State of Minnesota website. You work here and you don't know?
I don't know. I was there before. I don't know what's going on.
Were there any kids when you worked there?
He's there. He's there. What's
How
up?
many?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You worked there. Okay, well, you're not of any help.
Can I put my son in the daycare here?
Okay, so I don't know the financial situation of Domino's or the local business that I work at. Like, I don't know their financial standings. I don't know how much money they've received from the government, if any. I don't know how many pizzas we make a year or an hour. I don't know how much ice cream we scoop a year or in an hour. Actually, I do know how much pizza we make in an hour because it displays it on like a screen inside. And then there's a little leaderboard of all the local pizza spots. But they don't have like a leaderboard of children. I don't know how this guy would be supposed to know how many children are there before he goes in. And if he did, he sure as fucking hell should not tell this guy.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No? Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Who's his son, Joey?
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
I'm gonna do myself. No! He's my child. I'm the owner.
Do you put your kid here in this daycare?
No.
There is one child in there. Yeah, I'd like to know if this is a legit business.
Me, I'm scared of you too. How can I explain everything?
You're scared of me?
Yeah,
Why?
because of your curry.
Because of my color. You said you're scared of me because of my color. Does that make you a racist?
Yeah, no.
You said you're scared of me because of my color.
I'm not saying you're racist.
You said you're scared of me because of my color. That makes you a racist. So right now,
This is my
they're all getting
business.
mad because he's showing the paperwork of this business, being registered as a business. 74 children.
That's not the paperwork of this business. That's his like little cheat sheet that he wrote himself. And he's describing the situation from his perspective where he can cut and edit however he wants.
No children. I saw one child when they opened up the door. So now they're all getting mad.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? Are there any kids?
Ask the doctor. I'm the kids.
Well, then why are you talking to the owner if you're trying to talk to the
I'm sorry. I'm not understanding what you're talking about.
Do you have a child here?
No.
Does anybody?
These people are probably here to drop off their kids, by the way.
Where are the 74 kids? Did you lose them? Did you lose these kids? Do I need to call someone?
Because just because it's a license for 74 kids doesn't mean that there's 74 kids in attendance. You cannot be this fucking idiotic. This can't be accidental. This has to be malicious stupidity. Like intentionally malicious. He has to be faking ignorance to harm this community. Dude, I know where this is. I have been here. I've shopped at this Dollar Tree. God fucking damn it, dude.
I need to issue an Amber Alert for missing children? Are these children missing? It's not my business that children are missing. 74 infants and toddlers, preschool.
The proof's right there. There's no children anywhere.
It's from the state of Minnesota right here.
I think we're moving on to the next location. Have a good day.
As we continue to show the blatant fraud that was taking place here.
I think you can see his security.
I think we're moving on to the next.
Yeah, okay. Here, these masked fucking men are his security. No shit, you're not gonna open up for them.
Location. Have a good day.
As we continue to show the blatant fraud that was taking place here in Minnesota, Somalis started following us around the city.
Now we're being followed by the Somalis. This is another daycare center. Absolutely no signage, and there's no footprints in the snow.
This daycare center is closed, by the way. The one that he's showing right now, this is closed. He's going to a closed daycare center.
But children playing outside. $5 million within the past 2
in 2 years. 5.9 million they received in 2 years. That facility right there.
And now we have a group of Somalis telling us in our vehicle right now.
From this daycare center, we headed over to the
There's a group of Somalis following their vehicle, but they don't show it. What the fuck is he talking about?
infamous Quality Learning Center, which actually spells Quality Leering Center on the outside of the.
He's really proud of that one, actually. Probably he can't read, probably, I would assume. But they put this in like big bold text, so he's like, I can read this, and it doesn't say learning. That says leering. I'm gonna get him this time. So damned if you do, damned if you don't with these signs. And these signs are expensive to print. So if you've ever had like a misclick while typing, it was probably just that. And they didn't look it over enough times. And they didn't have the budget to reprint because business costs are high. And English isn't their native language, I would assume. Like, this isn't that big of a deal. But this, of course, was like memed to death on Twitter.
That's how blatant this fraud is here at this daycare.
Don't open up!
So this is Quality Leering Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open
They
up!
said they spelled learning wrong.
Don't open up!
How do you have ice here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up! We have ice!
And what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children
Don't open up!
and getting $4 million over
Don't
the
open up! It's ice!
$4 million in the last 2 years?
Go away!
What do you think about that? Are you in
Go
favor?
away!
Are you in favor of that?
Go away!
They're calling him ICE because of the masked security guards he has. And then his defense is, I'm a YouTuber. When ICE has worked with YouTubers, like, ICE would not be above that. So I don't know why he's saying, I'm a YouTuber. Like, that would absolve him from working with ICE. He's been to the White House. He's worked with Israel. Yeah, he would work with ICE to do this.
You know what?
They have a notice on the door. They're probably closed. They don't show us what this notice says. They're probably closed until they get their violations fixed.
Not welcome here!
Are you,
Shame on you!
Are you in favor of $1.9
Shame
million
on you.
going
Don't
illegally,
open up.
fraudulently to this business that has Quality Learning Center, but can't even spell learning right on the door?
Don't open up!
Based.
Ma'am, we are not ICE.
I don't care who you are, you don't belong here.
I belong here just like you belong here.
Don't open up! It's ice!
Yeah.
You do realize that there's supposed to be 99 children right here at this building, but there's no one here.
See, they have a van back here with masked men standing outside of it. Of course she thinks it's ICE.
This is a child daycare center.
99 children. Paid $1.9 million this year in CCAP funding. Do you know where the children are? Were they kidnapped? They run away? Where are the children? This is the state of Minnesota. Right here.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley, ma'am.
And who are you with?
Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley on YouTube.
Yeah, so who are you with here?
He won't answer because David is completely unidentified in this video other than David.
Oh, he's just been doing some research investigating the fraud that's taking place here in
Yeah,
Minnesota.
I'm with Nick Shirley.
This lady, she's
It's so weird that he won't say his name. That really makes me think that he has something to hide.
calling us ICE. We're just trying to put law and order back in the streets of the United States.
More than his failed political career.
get rid of all the fraud. Have you ever seen children at that daycare center right there?
What?
Yeah, it's right there. It says the child. You've never seen daycare.
I haven't seen anybody in here.
We're gonna educate you on something. So what do you think about this daycare center? They spelled learning wrong.
Yeah, why would he? He's a random fucking guy walking down the street. This is probably one of his security guards, and they just had him take his mask off.
They've received over $1.9 million this year alone, and they're supposed to have 99 children here.
I don't see it.
Have you ever seen any children here?
None, not at all. None.
This year they got 1.9 million. Last year they got 1.5 million of your tax money for 99 children. We just want to know where are the kids.
Right.
Where are the children?
I don't see them. I've been here since 2017. I haven't seen anybody like
Never
that.
seen a child
Nope,
here.
not at all.
And so you've never seen a child here for 8 years?
Nope, not at all.
And how does that make you feel knowing that this place is receiving $1.9 million?
I don't believe this. Like, I'm gonna be fully honest. Not only because I think it was CNN. I think it should be in this video. They show that they saw people. Yep.
Shirley's viral video released over the weekend in which he says he's uncovering tens of millions.
The point of
Surely you don't think a daycare should just be unlocked. You shouldn't be able to just walk into a
be
daycare.
reception.
No, every daycare is locked.
Have their doors locked.
And so, okay, you bring up a fair point. Then why can't they actually give me information how to enroll a child?
Federal law enforcement has been investigating fraud.
Fucking god, this guy's
At
so
the right fall.
stupid.
Names or
Yeah, we should watch this
frauds.
part right
Did
here.
you come during their normal operating hours when you came to visit?
I came at 11 a.m., I believe.
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of daycares are closed during the school day because they're for school-aged kids. So they don't open until like closer to like 3:30. And he's coming in like the middle of the day. So of course some of them aren't going to be even open.
And I also came the following day, later in the day. The point of it is not whether or not I came at the
Later in the day. Actually, later in the day when?
right time of their operation hours. The point is that blacked out doors, they can't give you any information. You call that number, no one answers. I wasn't trying to go inside, and there should be a way for somebody to actually call that number and somebody to be able to answer. These aren't real businesses.
But surely you don't think a daycare should just be unlocked. You shouldn't be able to just walk into a
It should be
daycare.
reception.
No, every daycare is locked.
Have their doors locked.
And so, okay, you bring up a fair point. Then why?
This guy doesn't fucking know anything. This guy's an idiot. This guy is stupid.
Why can't they actually give me information how to enroll a child?
Federal law enforcement has been investigating fraud in Minnesota
Forward every way that we can.
at the daycare where Shirley showed backup. A stream of children walk inside. You're saying that this is a fraudulent daycare. There's kids being...
Yeah, okay, so after Nick Shirley left, children went into the daycare. Like, it wasn't even... Oh my fucking god, dude. This is such... It's stupid that this even needs to be debunked. And this guy doesn't know anything. This is a random guy walking down the street. We don't know who this guy is. Nick Shirley probably slipped him a 5 before this to be like, you've never seen anyone enter that daycare center. Because why would he be paying attention if people enter a random daycare or not?
Dollars.
Disgusting. I mean, what the hell? They steal the money. That's a federal grant, too. That's, if they get caught, that's a federal offense. I know I studied law.
And you think Tim Walz should go to jail for all the fraud that he's enabled here in his...
He studied law. That's a very different thing from being a lawyer or knowing anything about law.
That's him doing this? Well, heck yeah. He's got to be held accountable for this. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason what's going on here. It's simple. It's nothing there. It's a parking lot.
And look, they even spelled learning wrong on their sign for a place that's supposed to be educating children.
That's crazy. I mean, who runs it? Who supposedly runs it?
Somalians.
Oh my god. Where? Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't even give a name. He gives a race. That's like if I asked who runs something and they said, and he responded, the blacks. Like, they're not even trying to hide it anymore.
I've never seen nobody here at all.
So how long have you been living here?
Since 2017.
You've never seen a single child walk in that building.
No, not at all.
So this daycare center is literally just a place to traffic money. $1.9 million just this year alone. And this guy's been living here for 8 years and has never seen a single child walk through those doors. There's no windows either. And the only window they do have, the door, is blacked out.
Yep, I see that. I've never seen anybody go in there.
Within just a few hours, we nearly approached $20 million in fraud, and we head over to George Floyd's neighborhood to expose more of the fraud taking place.
This place is called Future Leaders Early Learning Center, and it's licensed for 90 children. And in fiscal year 2025, they
God, they don't understand how fraud works. Like, even if those daycares weren't currently operational, that doesn't mean all the money that they've been given has been using for, like, fraudulent activity. It doesn't mean anything like that. These guys are so dishonest and stupid.
received $3.6 million. In fiscal year 2024, they received $3 million. So in 2 years, they got $6.67 million, claiming they have 90 children every day of the week, 5 days a week. So let's
People are making just about more money than NBA athletes.
And we don't even know if they're paying taxes, but we don't know where this money is going. Is it going to terrorism? Where is it going? But it's...
And they're not making that money. Like, they are being granted that money to help cover some of the operation costs.
It's theft, it's fraud, and the reason I'm involved is I want it to stop. I care about Minnesota. I'm doing this for the people of Minnesota. I don't make a dime of all this time I spent on this. I put my life...
You're a loser. You are a loser. You are doing this because you're a stupid loser. And Nick Shirley is making lots of dimes off this. I assure you. Nick Shirley is making lots of dimes off of this sponsored video with 4 million views.
Took risk several times, but I'm determined to see this through and to correct what is wrong, what is evil. Time I spent on this, I put my life at risk several times, but I'm determined to.
Yeah, and that ICE agent got internal bleeding. You're putting your life at risk every time you get in a car. How has he put his life at risk, dude?
See this through and to correct what is wrong, what is evil.
Here at Future Leaders Early Learning Center, this building received over $3 million. Hello, how are you?
Yeah,
I would like to see Early Learning Center. This building received.
Look at how like well decorated this building is. This is like a good looking building. It obviously has like a back. Like this is a well funded, good building. It's got like there's nothing to complain about here.
Received over $3 million. Hello, how are you? I would like to see if I can bring little Joey, my son little Joey here. Is there paperwork or can I check out the daycare? No? Why can't I check out the daycare? Okay, but if I can get paperwork or anything to submit my son little Joey to come in here to daycare?
Why is he emphasizing Joey so hard? And what is with this fuck-ass music? Like, he doesn't have a kid. He shows up with a camera crew and a security team. And he goes, hey, can I check in my son Joey? Is there paperwork to check in Joey here? Like, obviously, they're going to say no.
We'd really like to put Joey in this daycare. We've heard great things. No, I'd like your business card, actually. Okay.
The fact that they're subtitling every word she says, when most of it's completely audible, and they're not subtitling anything he says.
Can I speak with somebody? Where are the children at? Are the children here today?
No.
No children?
Yeah.
Why are there no children? Would my son little Joey have friends to play with here?
They're not open till 2. She answered the door like he's been wanting to. And he's before operational hours, so of course there's not going to be kids there. And if there were, he wouldn't get to see the kids. Because he's a random man with a son named Joey, who we don't get to see.
No. No friends for little Joey?
Yes.
Dang it. Well, have a great rest of your day. So, little Joey would not be accepted to that daycare? Joey's still looking for daycare.
And because little Joey couldn't get into a daycare, we went to an autism center, as they have been popping up everywhere as a rise of autism has occurred here in Minnesota because of the government funds that they're receiving.
What did he just say? A rise in autism has occurred because of the government funds that the autism centers are receiving?
We went
Have a great rest of your day. So, little Joey would not be accepted to that daycare? Joey's still looking for daycare.
And because little Joey couldn't get into a daycare, we went to an autism center, as they have been popping up everywhere as a rise of autism has occurred here in Minnesota because of the government funds that they're receiving. I tried to check my son Joey into an autism center.
We've been going to a lot of these daycare centers. We're trying to find a spot for our little boy Joey, but we thought maybe we could check him in the autism center. Because none of the daycare centers are open. Yeah, and how many kids do you guys have at this autism center?
I can't give you a number.
Like more than 5? Probably, so you don't really know?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about like the fraud that's been labeled on the autism centers here? What do you guys do think about the fraud, or how come the autism centers are popping up?
I can't answer that.
My name's Nick. We're doing a little documentary. Trying to find little Joey a spot to put himself in one of these centers here. Because there's the fraud. Yeah, because we want to make sure we're going to legit business. We're going to bring.
The way he's like peeking in with his glasses on, recording them without their like knowledge, it's like it's really freaking me out to me. And the fact that they didn't blur his phone, and you can see his contacts, that's gross. This is not like citizen journalism. This is a state actor doing what cannot be called journalism, doing like anti-Somalian, anti-Minnesotan propaganda. It's fucking disgusting. And this is the reason. This video right here is the reason that Renee Good is dead. This video is the reason that Alex Preddy is dead. This video is the reason why I know people who have had masked men with guns kidnap and deport them. This video is the reason why Minnesota is fucking occupied. And this is what passes for citizen journalism. This is what passes for journalism in 2025, 2026. This came out late 2025.
Bring our little boy Joey here.
This is not a dope stuff. But that's our number on your laptop. So you can't let you guys.
Okay, thank you. So once again, little Joey, he can't even go to daycare, and now they won't even accept him if he has autism.
And again, no kids. Couldn't tell you how many kids they serve.
After being able to provide no evidence of them actually being an autism center in a place where a child could go, they shut the door and we headed to the next fraudulent daycare center that was.
Yeah, because they don't need to provide you evidence that they're an actual autism center. You're a random guy with an old man tailing you, with no kid. Nick Shirley's a virgin, I guarantee you that.
just around the corner.
We're on to the next location. We're still trying to find little Joey a place to go get some daycare.
So where we're going now is a place called
This guy cannot hit.
Super Kids Daycare Center. Interestingly, this daycare center was shut down when it was called Creative Minds Daycare, and it had received $2.45 million this fiscal year 2025. They had to shut down because there were so many violations, and they went and they just reopened under a new license, and they renamed the center Super Kids Daycare Center, LLC.
So they got shut down and started another one.
Literally the next day.
Creative Minds Daycare, $2.45 million got sent to this daycare center. We have empty parking lot. We do have a bus here. This is different. We'll see if we see anybody.
I knocked on the door. Absolutely nobody was inside,
It's
and once again, no
literally
children
not
could be heard
an
anywhere.
empty
So David,
parking
we do have a bus here.
There's a person here and a bus. That's definitionally not an empty parking
Creative
lot.
Minds Daycare, $2.45 million got sent to this daycare center.
And there's cars parked like along the side of the street where else would they be going? And it's probably mostly empty because it's not in operational hours right now. You fucking dumbass.
We have empty parking lot. We do have a bus here. This is different. We'll see if we see anybody.
I knocked on the door. Absolutely nobody was inside, and once again, no children could be heard anywhere.
So David, once again, another child daycare center. We have a bus out here. No one's inside. Licensed for over 50 kids. No children anywhere. But yet, millions of dollars every single year.
So the sign says Creative Minds Daycare. They got in so much trouble. They had so many violations that they had to shut down, and they reopened the next day under Super Kids Daycare Center. You see, 3801 Portland, which is where we are.
So that's fraud right there alone.
Millions
That's not what fraud is.
and millions of dollars, and again, the kids are missing. Where are the kids?
You'd think if they had the same address, that whoever's inside or working at the Capitol here inside of Minnesota would say, oh, maybe that's a red flag.
They just write the check.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Like these places get audited. Like if it had violations before, that means it was audited. And then when they closed and reopened, they must have fixed those violations before the next audit, or else they wouldn't be open right now. And like there is fraud in Minnesota. It's been being investigated for years. It's just been blown out of proportion. And this guy is blowing it way out of proportion with his little like fraud counter and then sensationalizing it.
Same address, that whoever's inside or working at the Capitol here inside of Minnesota would say, oh, maybe that's a red flag.
They just write the check. Human Services, they got to clean out the whole bunch. They're the ones to enable this fraud. How can you not look and say, wait a minute, these two are registered at the same address?
On top of all of the childcare centers, that's just only a small piece of the fraud. What other fraud are they committing here in Minnesota?
So another major piece of the fraud is the home healthcare industry. Where we're going now is a building that has 14 Somali-owned home healthcare companies in the same building.
14 of the same healthcare companies in one building.
14 home healthcare companies with different names in the same building.
How bad has Tim Walz managed the budget here inside Minnesota?
So the last biennium, we had an $18 billion surplus. This biennium, we have a $6 billion deficit. That's a $24 billion swing in one biennium. How in the world can you burn through $24 billion in 2 years?
We've expanded social programs a lot in Minnesota. Universal free school lunch, which was an oddly politicized issue this last election. Because who the fuck doesn't want kids to eat school lunch for free? Who wants kids going into debt? Literal fucking lunch debt over school lunch. That's fucking outrageous. But apparently a lot of people on the right don't want that. So whatever, man.
This is how right here. This is a huge part of it.
And so would you say a lot of that is fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Absolutely. I would say better than 90% of it is absolute outright fraud.
And a large percentage of this fraud is from these healthcare companies that are charging the state millions of dollars while they actually aren't providing
He would say 90% of it. He's just guessing. He doesn't know shit.
anything. In fact, the FBI just did a raid a few days ago on a building similar to the one we were about to enter. Inside of this building, there were 14 of nearly the exact same businesses offering the exact same service.
He doesn't give any information about the FBI raid. He just says an FBI raided the building. That doesn't mean shit. FBI raided Mar-a-Lago. Want to talk about what they found there, Nick Shirley? I'll bet fucking not.
Right here, you have a list of all of the healthcare companies. Loads of them right here. We want healthcare. Yes, we'd like to speak about getting healthcare here. Why can't I get healthcare here? Warning, you are under video surveillance. No trespassing, security, armed. This is the strangest place I've ever been to get healthcare.
Knocks on the door, then just cuts. He's not... Oh my god. And it's home healthcare. You don't go there to get healthcare. You make an appointment and you go there. Or like, it's like for like... It's... Jesus fucking Christ. You don't just show up to a place and get healthcare. That's not how this works. I'm 16 and I know more than him about fucking everything in the world. This little rich bitch has been so fucking sheltered. This fucking virgin doesn't know shit. And he's the standard for citizen journalism, apparently. Going to a home healthcare building, like a home healthcare center, and fucking knocking on doors being like, give me healthcare, give me healthcare. Jesus Christ, man.
just a bunch of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare right here, another healthcare company right here.
He's just telling us there's healthcare there. Yeah, we fucking know. That's the point of the building, is to have healthcare businesses, home healthcare businesses, where they go to your home. It's not like...
Here, there are 3 healthcare companies inside of this building right here in this room of 7C. Now we have another Helping Hands, Home Care LLC, another healthcare company, Present Help right here. We're looking for the best rates of healthcare here inside this building because we have so many options. Who can we talk about getting the best healthcare?
I don't know.
No?
Sorry.
All right. We will not get any healthcare here.
She's
David, this is one of the
on
stranger
the
places I've ever
phone.
been. Literally, healthcare every door you go to. Yet nobody will give you a rate.
Yeah,
How much
see,
money do you
here
think you funnel through?
you can see their like security guards tailing them.
David, this is one of the stranger places.
These guys are following them everywhere. Sometimes they're like out of frame back by the car, but they're still there. So it's amidst such an ominous presence to have these 2 white guys approaching your Somali-owned daycare with these 2 masked men standing by your van. Like, obviously they're not going to show you their kids. You fucking Nimrod.
Places I've ever been. Literally, healthcare every door you go to. Yet nobody will give you a rate. How much money do you think you can funnel through this building?
Every year, I would say 50 to 60 million at least.
And finally, we were
He would say 50, 60 million at least, and so then they add what his guesstimation is to the fraud counter. This video is nothing. This is shit from a butt. This is slop.
into one of the daycare centers, and they actually took down information to give us a rate.
Pure slopaganda.
However, when we left, we were then met with the police.
I received a complaint that someone mentioned your description were in this building harassing the individuals who stay here.
Oh, we're checking out the rates for healthcare. Because there's 14 healthcare companies inside this building, so. Okay. Here.
Yeah, you're walking around with cameras and masked men trying to check out the healthcare.
He said there's 14 companies here, and he's trying to assume because they're Somali providers, everyone's just fraudulent.
So
So he's here with some kind of like propaganda.
No, we're just checking.
No, this is a
Yes, she fucking clocked him.
area that we're allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance. Is there any other reason you guys are here?
Well, we were checking rates.
No, he's
We were checking rates. We asked for rates.
No, you're not.
Okay. I'm gonna have, if you guys are all good, we're gonna step outside and we can
All right, let's leave. So, all right, we're getting escorted out right now. The police arrived. We were checking out the rates, seeing what was happening inside this building. No.
That's not why you were there. Stop being dishonest. I think he probably genuinely believes that he's getting kicked out for checking rates. It's so fucking nothing.
Want to really speak with us? We did go inside the one daycare center, and she actually did give us rates for childcare. Much respect to that lady. What's the problem?
I think my dog wants me to go to bed, so I'll probably do that soon. I've been live for an hour at this point. Actually on topic for 40 minutes, so this will be like a long ass video.
Well, so again, we've been getting reports from multiple individuals that you guys were harassing individuals who work here. At the end of the day, this is private property, and it's one that people are allowed to ask you to leave, and it's also one the Minneapolis Police Department is allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance at this address.
Yeah.
So
This guy's a fucking pig, but he's in the right to kick them out. Anyone in the Minneapolis Police Department is a bad person. Like, I believe that all cops are bastards, but I don't believe that all cops are bad. They're complicit in a bastardized police system that oppresses the working class, protects the interests of the pedophile corporate elite. But everyone in the Minneapolis Police Department is a bad person. I don't care. I'm gonna extend that to St. Paul too.
We got escorted out of this building. The Somalis filmed us as we left, and we headed over to the next building that had 22 of
The Somalis filmed us as he left. You've been filming Somalis for hours and hours and hours and edited it down to a 40-minute YouTube video where you're accusing every Somali in Minnesota of being complicit in fraud.
the same home health care providers operating from inside of the building.
Right here you have multicultural home care. And right here it says it's open, but can't even get in. Another Reliance Recovery Center. Mercy and Grace Care, Inc. Right here you have Den Eritrean Youth Development Association of Minnesota. Another child care center. Welcome to Bright Beginning Center. But what do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Sorry. No comments. Can I please?
Right here you have Serenity Quality Care. All of these businesses are literally the same type of business providing the same service in the same building. Another Convenience Home Healthcare, Aid, Inc. and Child-Friendly Space. All these companies get money from the government. Why would you have the same company essentially inside of the same building, door to door? Right here, Queenly Home.
The same company inside of the same building. This guy can't fucking talk, but I'm gonna assume what he meant is why would you have multiple companies with the same service inside of the same building? And I think he thinks there's like a supply and demand problem to have multiple of the same style of business in the same building. Have you ever seen like a corner with 4 gas stations? Have you ever been to a food court in a mall? Is that not a supply and demand issue, Nick Shirley?
Home healthcare. It just does not make sense. If you were trying to operate a business, you'd want to have less competition. But here, they have all their competition right next door. We're wondering because we hear there's lots of fraud taking place.
God, this guy has a 5th grade understanding of economics and the world.
here in Minnesota, and we're wondering why is there so many of the same companies inside of the same building?
No, I don't know that.
What do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't have any idea about that fraud. Okay? That's it.
What do you think about the news articles and what's being spread on the news about the fraud?
Right now, you are doing something wrong.
I'm just asking you
No,
about
you're
the
not
fraud.
asking me, okay? Don't ask me that question again.
Okay. Who can I speak to? Who can I speak to? Okay. As soon as you confirm about the fraud, they get angry. When these people have these home healthcare companies.
No, they get angry because you're recording them. He's holding his meta glasses and recording himself with them, by the way. That's fucking hilarious. Okay, whatever. Oh my god. This is the video that caused the occupation of my state. They're getting mad because you're sticking a camera in their face and saying, "Hey, Somali, what do you think of all the fraud in Minnesota committed by other Somali immigrants? Huh? What do you think? What's your opinion? Are you complicit in the fraud? You fucking person of color?" That's what he's doing, and that's like, they're not stupid. They clock this guy instantly because they live in a world where they have to know how to clock racism, and this guy is a racist, being followed around by another racist and 2 security guards wearing masks when ICE is operating in Minnesota.
You're seeing them everywhere inside this building. What kind of fraud are they committing?
So there's false documentation being submitted to the state of Minnesota for services never provided. They're having forms signed in advance for services that were then never rendered. As far as a year or 2 years in advance, they'll have someone sign these forms at one sitting, and then they just file those with the state of Minnesota, and nobody from the state of Minnesota bothers to check that those services were ever provided.
So they're essentially just using people saying that they had these services provided months or even years ago, then filing the paperwork and they're receiving money from the government.
Right, and the Somali community is a very closed community, so everybody's in on it, and they don't want to talk, as you can see.
Quiet part out loud. Quiet part out loud. Every Somali is in on it because they are such a tight-knit community. Every Somali is complicit in this fraud. They should all be arrested and deported. That is the implication that you're supposed to get from this video. That is this video. And that is what is happening in Minnesota right now.
And for this building, I'm going to give an estimate of around $30 million for how much fraud is taking place. That is a very low estimate.
And people who protest it get shot 10 times in the head, get shot 5 times in the head. The first shot didn't kill Renee Good. You know that? The second shot didn't kill her either. The third shot, when he was firing from her, from basically behind the vehicle, the third shot is what killed her. And then he said, "Fucking bitch." Alex Preddy was disarmed. He was on the ground. He had been beaten. He hadn't assaulted an ICE officer. They didn't know, those ICE officers didn't know about his previous, like, attack on their car, if we're going to call it that. Him kicking their car. They didn't know about that, and even still, that wouldn't warrant a death execution in the street. But no, they had him on the ground, disarmed, and they shot him 10 times in the head after beating him for trying to help a woman they shoved off the ground. Both of those things happened because of this video. Nick Shirley has a real human blood on his hands.
However, still a lot.
And you know what? That's where I'm going to end this video. He goes to a city hall. He keeps asking, "Where are the children?" Then he goes to a city hall and pretends like he's doing something important, and then jerks himself off about it. Yeah. God, he's such a fucking loser. Genuine blood on this guy's hands. Alright, I'll edit this a little bit tomorrow and upload it as a shorter video. Thank you. Like and subscribe if you made it this far. I will be streaming several times a week like this. See ya.